Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm back to talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow, episode 103, titled Blood Ties, which premiered Thursday, February 4th, 2016 on the CW. Quick reminder, I've not read any comics. I only know what I see on the screen, both for Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, and The Flash. So, up to that point, I will be making connections between the three shows if I see them. Other than that, you should be good for this episode. So spoiler alert for sure, and let's get started with the 10-minute clock, and let's begin. Something new that we learned. We're still, timeline-wise, we're still stuck in 1975 due to the fact that Kendra is not stable enough to time travel. So there's that, and this episode actually splits the team up, focusing on 3 different aspects of their mission, which eventually brings them all together. So, first mission has basically Rip Hunter and Sarah trying to find a way to weaken Savage. They can't actually kill him permanently. They're going to try to find a way to make him powerless, and that is in the form of trying to take away his money. So they team up to try to do that, which turns into a mission to retrieve Carter Hall's body, because somehow Vandal Savage got a hold of it, and he's going to do some ritualistic things to him to connect it with the immortality that Vandal Savage has. So that's what Rip and Sarah are dealing with. While doing that, the issue of Sarah's bloodlust that she acquired from the Lazarus pit is brought up, and we see it firsthand, or at least Rip Hunter does, in this episode. So there's that. Second little adventure, or not really, it's more of a rescue type mission, is the fact that Kendra is unstable because of the fact that there are these pieces of that knife that got separated and are inside her. So it's up to Dr. Stein and Ray Palmer to try to find a way to get those shards out of her and to stabilize her. So basically, they come up with the idea that Ray shrinks down, goes inside her bloodstream, and disintegrates those weapon fragments. So a few hiccups along the way, but that is their sole mission, and it seems that Kendra is connected to whatever happens to Carter Hall's body. So whenever there is a ritual happening on him, she's reciting it as well as if in her sleep, kind of like a telepathy type thing. So that's how their part connects to Rip Hunter and Sarah's part. Third part doesn't seem like it's related at all, but it does eventually. So this is not time travel, it's I guess space travel back to Central City, 1975, because Leonard Snart wants to go back and steal this emerald. Turns out that his father was going to steal that same emerald 2 days. So Leonard wants to go steal it and then give it to his father, because when his father tries to do it, he gets arrested, and that's what sets him down the abusive path that Leonard experiences, as well as his sister Lisa. So on this trip is his partner in crime, Heatwave, Mick Rory, and also Jax, because he's the one that's trying to fix the little side hovercraft thing that goes with the ship. So they're dealing with the fact that they might mess up Leonard's own timeline by intervening in this way. Eventually, they get called in as reinforcements to help Rip Hunter and Sarah out when their part of the mission ends up putting them in Vandal Savage's hands. So with coordinates, they actually go in and provide the backup they need. So eventually, they all come together, and basically all come together. So it's like 3 separate paths that lead together to one point, essentially. But overall, though, Vandal Savage apparently has a cult following of his own. Apparently, he needs the blood of Carter's dead body to maintain or to replenish his immortality. I wasn't really clear, or I didn't really get that part. So if you have a clarification for that, let me know in the comments below. Much appreciated. This is the moment where Vandal Savage learns the name of Rip Hunter's family, and which is kind of pretty stupid. Why would he even say the names? Because that's, yeah, anyways. And then we also have Carter Hall's funeral at the very end. So he's dead. And we actually learn that Rip Hunter has tried and failed to kill Vandal Savage back in ancient Egypt, where shortly after he killed the first first versions of Kendra and Carter. So there's that. And his legend of him being the attacker continues on, which was interesting. Okay, so most shocking moment of the episode. It wasn't anything big, really. It's just like some minor thing. And it was the fact of how much Heatwave knew of Captain Cold's background. Because I know they're partners in crime and everything, but I just figured that they're two criminals who just look out for their own. If one needed backup on a job, then okay. But in this episode, I got the distinct feeling that they are friends. Like, they really are partners, because when we were learning about Captain Cold's history and why he wanted to go back to Central City in 1975, it's from Heatwave. It's from Mick Rory that we're learning this information from. It's not from Captain Cold himself. So it definitely demonstrated that they do know each other, and it's not like they're just some random associates that just happen to call each other up for backup. They are a team, and I wasn't expecting it, and I really liked that for sure. Okay, top 3 favorite moments. First one was kind of, it still has my brain confused, but it's when the older Leonard Snart, so Captain Cold, has a little heart-to-heart with his younger self. So don't know how that's going to mess up with his psyche, because adult version is definitely going to remember as a child that an adult version of himself came to talk to him, even though he didn't know it was his adult self. So it's just, I don't know. But I really like the emotion behind it. I really like how he's trying to tell him to watch out for yourself, to be careful, and like stuff like that. I feel like that wasn't expecting it. But yeah. Next favorite moment has to be the mission for Rip Hunter and Sarah, only because that it allowed for them to get closer and for them to learn about each other. And we definitely got to see Sarah's bloodlust and how Rip Hunter reacts to it, because he only knows that she was resurrected from the Lazarus pit. He doesn't know what that entails or anything like that. So he's seeing for the first time who he truly recruited, instead of just like what the history books say, I guess you can put it. Next favorite moment has to be the whole unity between the team. At the very end, when they're all coming together, they're all talking about how they're in this together, all for one for all, and all that. And I just really like that, even though it's like the 3rd episode in. To me, it seems like it's only been like a few days. So they're really coming along very quickly. So I really like that for sure. Another bonus favorite moment, though, is the indirect mention that we get of Superman and Batman. Now, it was actually in the sneak peek that the CW released on their YouTube channel. And in it, Rip Hunter actually says this, and I quote, "I've seen darker days, I've seen men of steel die and dark nights fall. And even then, I've accomplished my mission no matter what." Now, I may not be a comic book fan, or a comic book reader, I should say, but I do know the Man of Steel refers to Superman and Dark Knight is referring to Batman. So the fact that they put those little nuggets in there has me wondering if we're ever going to see their representation of those superheroes. Because because earlier this week, actually, news alert right now, but it was confirmed that there's going to be a crossover between Supergirl and The Flash. Sorry. So we definitely know that there's somehow going to be connecting those two universes together. So maybe that's another way that we're going to get from Superman, because Superman is from Supergirl, and like, I don't know, but I just love that comment so much, because it's just that little bit of an Easter egg and a bit of a nugget of information that wants you to. So many ideas can come from that. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so top 3 peeved moments. major one has to be the whole confusion with the time travel itself. That it's never going to go away for sure. But the fact of the matter is there's so much bloodshed in this episode. It had me wondering that if you're killing a lot of people in the past, then aren't you messing up the timeline somehow? Because what if you killed someone that wasn't supposed to die in that moment in your original timeline, and yet you're killing them? So then doesn't that affect your new timeline? Because what if they had been someone important, or they did something to affect someone that was important? I mean, I don't know, shouldn't it be like a rule of thumb that is that if you kill someone that wasn't meant to die in the past, then that would mess up your future too? Or the rule of thumb being don't kill anybody in the past unless you know how they're directly going to affect the future or something like that. I don't know. It just seemed like with all the bloodshed in this episode, I feel like the timeline should have shifted dramatically somehow, like the butterfly effect or something. It just irritates me that it doesn't seem to be the case. Or maybe I'm understanding it wrong. I don't know. But, yeah. Second peeved moment actually has to do with Sarah's bloodlust. And that is only because this week's Arrow, episode 412, Sarah's bloodlust was actually mentioned because they were dealing with Thea's bloodlust and how her health is deteriorating because of it. And they brought up the fact that Sarah's bloodlust isn't reacting the same way as Thea's, mainly because of the fact that Sarah was completely resurrected while Thea was healed. So the Lazarus pit affected them differently. So therefore their bloodlust should be reacting differently. But on Arrow, they gave the impression that Sarah's not there. She's not suffering from her bloodlust like the extent that Thea is. And yet in tonight's episode, that it seemed like it contradicted that statement. So that's the only thing that irritated me, because now I'm confused about which version is which, and since they both seem to be contradicting each other. So I don't like it when that happens, if it's supposed to be like a set myth on something. So that's it. And surprisingly enough, what am I going to remember most about this episode? It's the fact that we got to see Sarah's bloodlust in full-blown action. I love the fight scenes, especially when Sarah's involved. She definitely kicks butt for sure. She takes no prisoners, and I really like that. The added fact that she's now being influenced by this bloodlust is like an extra edge to it. So I don't know, I just like that for some reason. Only for TV shows, just saying. Random questions. I only have two actually. First one is actually just a clarification question, because when Leonard Snart went to go back to his childhood home, did I hear it correctly or understand it properly? Because from the looks of it, I got the impression that when Leonard Snart mentioned his sister to his father, it seemed like his father was confused, as if like he didn't understand why a sister would be mentioned, as if he didn't have a sister in 1975. So I'm just wondering if that's just I misinterpreted it, or I misheard it or something. It was happening really fast, but I just thought it was weird that he said sister like question mark after it. So I was just wondering if anyone else picked up on that, or if they have an answer for that. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to get that cleared up. Next question. It looked like Rip Hunter killed Vandal Savage at the end of the episode, but then Gideon comments later on with reports of Vandal being sighted in the 80s. I think it was 1985. But my question is, does that mean that there are many ways to kill Vandal Savage, and yet they are trying to find the permanent way to kill him? Kind of like the Michelsons on the TV show The Originals. There's so many ways the Michelsons could die, and yet there's only one sure fact or sure way that you can kill them up until this point anyways. So I'm just wondering if that's kind of like the same thing, since Vandal Savage is immortal, and we saw him die in episode 408 on Arrow. We saw him die in tonight's episode. So I don't know, I'm curious as to what actually will keep this guy down for sure. And okay, so in regards to predictions, saw the promo for episode 104, and it seems like someone's going to try to go solo on their mission. It was all happening fast, but that's the only thing I picked up on. And yeah, but they're definitely going to the 80s for sure. But predictions overall, I think there's definitely going to be more time traveling for sure, but I'm not sure if we're actually going to like keep going forward. Like if we're the 70s this week, are we going to go to the 80s next time, and then the 90s, the 2000s, like that? Or are we actually going to go further back in time and stuff like that? Probably. I do know that this episode synopsis for episode 6 was released today. I did check that out, and we're actually going to see a future version of one of the other cities we're familiar with. I won't say which, but you can definitely check that out from Tumblr if you want a heads up on that. Prediction as well. I'm hoping that we get more references of Superman and Batman like we did tonight. More Easter eggs like that, or even mentions about Arrow and the Flash. I'd love to just see how all these universes are coming together, and that'd be great. I'm still wondering, and for another prediction, I'm still wondering if we're going to see another reincarnated version of Carter Hall, because I still can't believe he's actually dead when was built up to be this main character. And as a main character, you're thinking that they're going to stay here for a certain amount of time, right? So I'm hoping we see him again, and it'd be interesting if we see a different reincarnated version of him meeting up with the current reincarnation of Kendra. Just see how that plays out, and that'll be interesting. And that's about it. So what did you guys think of the episode? Was it what you thought would happen? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And also to subscribe to my channel and to check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Thank you for those who have subscribed already. And if you've done that, then don't forget to check out my Tumblr page. If you want more information about The Flash or even about any other TV shows I cover, I reblog as much as I can that comes across my dashboard. I even reblog promos, sneak peeks, synopses, dialogue, quotes, gifs, all that stuff. All the links for that will be down below. So check that out. And yeah, so until next time, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week wherever you are. And until next time, bye for now.